Hello everyone, how are you today? It is Halloween, or Samhain as we Druids call it, and it is the time of the ancestors. This is my representation of the collective ancestors. I'd love to know where this is from, if anyone knows. I think that it is from the area of West Africa. We found it at a car boot sale, and she's found her way to me. So she is representing all of our ancestors in spirit, and we're going to put the witch's hat on her. And incidentally, in case you didn't know this, witches' hats are this conical shape, this pyramid shape, so that the intelligent and creative energy rises. It's drawn right up into your head, and it is a very powerful shape. We've got our trusty jack-o'-lantern here, warding away any mischievous or negative spirits. But in this meditation, I would like you to keep in mind that if someone has crossed over who was not very nice to you, they may come back to apologize today. And you would want to accept that, because if you don't offer forgiveness, why should people forgive you? Even if you can't quite get there to the forgiveness, maybe take a step out onto a stepping stone to meet them a little bit. And that stepping stone would be trying to understand. So that's my little caveat. But for now, I want you to just ground. I want you to imagine you're looking at a beautiful ancient yew tree, the tree of the ancestors in England. And I'm going to draw that down you now, the yew tree. And yew trees are often planted in churchyards. And the reason they are said to be guardians of the ancestors is because they have red toxic berries, and when they fall to the ground, they look like the blood of the ancestors on the earth. So just ground into that beautiful tree. Take a breath in and breathe down to your feet. And just start to relax your body, mind, and spirit. I'm now going to draw 2 circles around you of protection. So imagine that golden light around your aura, completely encompassing it. Perhaps your aura is here, and you would want to expand that flame to about there, so that anything coming in is neutralized before it gets into your aura. Breathe in again as we just open up the root, the sacral, the solar, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. Opening up those energy centers and inviting the energy to stream down from the ethereal realms above us and to stream up from the earth so that you are connected to everything. Breathe, relax. With each breath you go deeper and deeper. And I want you now to imagine that you are in a room with a big dining table. And you can be in that room by yourself or with your family, those still on the earth plane. I'm just going to draw the birch symbol, a symbol of cleansing at this gateway in the calendar. Whether you are in Beltane in the southern hemisphere stepping into summer, or whether you are at summer's end in the northern hemisphere. And just start to imagine that you and your family are going to start setting the table, laying the table for a meal. I'm just going to reach across and start cleansing you with this beautiful amethyst wand. So you're going to count the chairs at this table. There should be enough for you and your family, and maybe a few extra places. These will be from those friends and relatives who have crossed over before you. They may have left a long time ago, or they may have left in this last year. Some of them might even come and visit you from your ancestral lineage. So count these places now and put a tablecloth on the table first. Then you'll need placemats. So you take out of a dresser a really sturdy amount of placemats, and you place them in front of the chairs. Let's just go behind you. Just brushing away any stagnant energy, any residue of past events, traumas and losses. And now you're going to set the cutlery. So you take out enough knives, forks and spoons. Reiki. You're either going to set these places yourself or delegate. That's a great word, isn't it? Delegate these jobs to others in your family. Then you take out enough napkins or serviettes. placing them under the forks nicely folded, or the knife, whichever way you set your table. And finally, the glasses. And lastly, a few extra placemats down the middle of the table for you to put all of these beautiful dishes that are going to come out of the oven. And then you, or whoever you've given the job to, is going to go to the oven and start bringing the dishes of food over, placing them in the middle. And then we need to reach into the cabinet and grab a pile of plates. And you will be sitting at the head of the table. Maybe at the opposite end of the table, the chair is free. And now your family start to take their places around the table. And at this point, we are going to call in the mighty archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, Sandalphon, and Metatron. And those angels will be standing around in the background as you and your family start to help and pile the food on the plates. We now ask these angels to bring through any visiting friends, relatives, or ancestors who wish to come and visit this evening. One of them opens a portal, and you see light. And if you are lucky, you might start to see shapes coming through. These ancestors, these friends, these relatives, these animals even. If you're not seeing anyone but somebody comes into your mind, they are visiting you. And these beings now take their seats. If you want to stand up and say a little grace in your head, a little blessing, a little welcome, now is the time to do that. When the blessing has been said, or the welcome, whatever you decided, People tuck in to their food. The living do anyway. Food is probably not on the minds of these beings who have passed, but they're going to enjoy being included. And hopefully one of the visitors has a message for you. But don't be disappointed if you can't get that message or nobody says anything. Just enjoy all being at the table together. Just going to sweep away any remaining grief, especially if you've not been able to get over the loss of someone, and if you haven't lost anyone, perhaps a way of life even. So at this time of year, some actions to do at Samhain. Of course, we all know about the trick-or-treating. Another thing to do can be to walk a labyrinth. We can do that in a minute, actually. I'll pick up the labyrinth in a minute. We can walk it together. You can also go through your house, throwing out anything that you do not need. A kind of autumn clearing. Maybe you'd like to look through old family photograph albums. You could do your budgeting. You could also do some divination, pull out some cards, shake the bones. Whatever you like to do. You could actually have a family gathering. You could go to a Veterans Day. It is Remembrance Sunday in the UK, possibly in other nations as well. You could also read a biography of somebody you admire. And releasing unwanted worries as we step through this threshold. Breathe in and breathe out for me, releasing those worries. You could also dance a movement meditation, beginning with small little dancing movements and getting bigger and bigger and more energetic. Peace and healing and tranquility, remembrance. Chokore. Chokore. Now, those who have been able to eat, finish their meal now. And someone stands up to clear the table. Little shots of mead are given out, or whiskey. You all drink a toast to those who have gone before. This is mead in here. And I'm just going to get up to get the labyrinth whilst you say anything that you did not get a chance to say when these people were alive. They may have something for you. And now it is time to go outside. One of the angels will open the door for you. Michael will go first with Uriel, who has a lantern. And as you all walk out of the house, you can see lots of candles in spirals on the ground outside. This is the labyrinth. I'm going to have to balance this. And you are invited to walk the labyrinth. And on the way in to the center, you think about all of those things that you wish to get rid of in your life. And then when we get to the middle, as we walk out, we think of all of the things that we wish to draw to us into our life. This is called a tree labyrinth. And we're going to use this Stonehenge knife. So this is Preseli bluestone. It has come from the same quarry as the bluestones in Stonehenge. And you can see it glistening and shining. The ancients believed that the shining quartz in here were the stars coming down to the earth. So you now step into the labyrinth and we start walking, thinking about what you want to get rid of, slowly and steadily. You turn, casting away as big a thing or as little a thing as you need. Maybe someone walks with you. Turn. Last couple of turns now, so start to throw the last things away. Last turn. And now you are at the center. Take a breath in. recalibrate, and now you want to state your wishes for the next 6 months until May. Naming all of those things, big or little, as we go out the first turn. The second turn. Processing, progressing, turn again. Last turn, second to last turn rather. Stating you're wishing for you or for other people. And the last turn now. And out you come, my knee is shaking. And the next person walks the labyrinth. Some people like to put incense in these and light them so that the incense continues to burn all the way around the labyrinth. You could also draw a labyrinth. There are many different and difficult shapes, but a spiral will work just as well. So you stand and watch as other people walk the labyrinth. But now it is time to say goodbye. As you and your family are outside, just say your goodbyes and your thank yous to whoever you connected with. Some of the angels are going to stay with you, but others are going to lead the souls of the departed into the house again. And they go back through the portal of light to the other realms. And the living are left with you now on the earth plane. And I want you now to look for a tree. Here's one over here, my big bonsai. But I want you to head towards that tree. And I want you to turn around and to sit down at the feet with the trunk supporting your back. Smile to yourself. Thank the angels for holding the space for the ancestors and for this cleansing and spell casting, really. You have walked a spell as you've walked the labyrinth. All prayers, incantations, affirmations are a form of a spell. And We take the witch's hat off our ancestor now, and I'm going to put it on myself. So I like to flop mine over. And I wish you a blessed and a safe Halloween, Samhain. I thank you for joining. And we thank the collective ancestors. This beautiful, beautiful woman here, carved by an amazing African artist. We thank our jack-o'-lantern or our turnip. In England we would have done turnips. For holding the space today, for warding off those mischievous spirits. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.